according to the way they teach them for Insight Driving School. Not be only for Insight Douala Yabunde Road where accident happened. So for Insight chapter for accident. Another one it be happen for that side for Insight Ngaundere. Where na driver he come out, he miss road, he carry motor, he enter for Insight Gotham for that side for Ngaundere side country day. This one it be involved na touristic their own transport agency. Where the thing it takes time it pass for Insight Ngaundere day. We go come out for Insight chapter for accident. We take gonna enter for Insight book where Minister Atanganji Paul if you don't move up and Insight this book if you talk to waiting it talks to this so all churches them where they never be authorized for Insight we own country they must lock that door even though after we if we talk this one plenty men of God them prophet them they will go back for their own altar they start pray they talk to this so this kind of decision where it won't come meet up them soon say this will not be find one they still talk to this so for Insight we catch them they get by them why they know they lock by them why not only church them where they did lock them for Insight this to him plenty other one them don't ask question why they do us so for us side for Insight Kumbade it will be another own deal where if you come out for make sure say they so make it lock some of these churches them gonna sabi say Atanganji Paul it be sound them with a big voice we go turn come meet up minister for territorial administration make it remind contribute them again and other church owners them where they never yet get authorized for Insight we own country.
We suspend prayers outside here for now, okay? Until you bring me the authorization of the church. If you are capable of bringing it now, fine and good. Whether it's in the evening, tomorrow morning, no problem. But from now, every assembly suspended here. You understand me?
They have to apply, they go to the competent offices, apply and have their genuine authorization before they come and operate. And so there is no assembly without an authorization. They keep on gathering population with no objectives, we don't know what they are doing. That is what we are controlling.
For Insight, this one, that one, it be inside being a deal for our side for Kumba one side country day. Oga Ali, where it be talk for Home TV, the Ontorials, and that way it talks say plenty of these men of God them. They show paper where it shows say that big church, it then for Nigeria. How you go there with church day for Nigeria, then it get authorized for operate for Insight country. Now the question that and other one them, they don't run go take authorized for different church them where they don't really get authorized for talking now. Now small picking branches, he said that one, it no go work. Make all them, they struggle for see way they go get their own papers them. Now make we talk with Minister Atanganji Paul.
For those who are operating without the decree from the head of state, I'm advising them to close down before I get to them. They should start closing before I get to them.
Now so the thing it can be happen as you don't talk, it tell us so if you never get papers, time it don't reach for you for go find them. If not, they go lock your own church. We go continue for Insight chapter for one way Minister Atanganji Paul it do for Insight we own country. We go take gonna enter for Insight West region. We now for the way he born around 10 tons of mbanga and then with the fake drugs them where he enter for Insight we own country. This one it been a work for Minister Atanganji Paul and according to he it talks say this so the mbanga where they call for Insight big book say marijuana is waiting say this to around 850 million francs for the thing them way they destroy them. Now for that side for exact the own play for team for Bafo side country they carry this big work for that side country as well as they say and we born them it talks say plenty of this why young boy them they go astray because of this drugs them where it enter for Inside Katre for way and it talks say this so mean he don't give you instruction say this so make this kind of thing you know it pass for Inside country again and inside this same tutorials if we talk with the minister we it talk for what on tutorials
of law and order the total value is close to 850 million. It is a dangerous activity because if you take illegal drugs that is the best way of destroying our health. The delegate of health has given us a rundown the statistics of the drugs are things that people consume virtually every day. Paracetamol, drugs for headache, pregnancy and things like that. So
Yes, now so the thing it take up, it pass, it talks in this one a time. Where they get for stop some of this boy them and some of these people them where they turn enter with this bad kungang cigar for inside we own country and where they sell for we young boy them where they never get age for even pass for corner cigar for inside this same chapter. We go come out for that one. Utegunam enter for inside this other one. We na countryman. We transport money. Una sabi this big motor. We never transport money for inside we own country here. Now for that side for inside Yabunde. We this countryman he carry motor for enter for inside for border side for Betwa. So for inside Yabunde we never you go. According to the countryman we na the driver as una the same for inside una own television. So this driver as he want work as mom. The gendarme we here and he be there for inside the motor. He tell the man say this so he want peace. As he come out for peace, different other Kitu red cap them. They come out for inside bush. They surrender the man. They tell you say this to make it just come out for the front. Now when he take this thing, they talk 700 million francs. Now the money that way they take sand, they run with them. Big man for Kitu red cap, he don't move book and he talks to this. So this near people them we one in it na Yemeni he get under wanted and other country people them. So for inside this same chapter, this countryman he will explain for Home TV how the thing it come, it pass.
Ton nom et tout on le prend ainsi. Donc mon nom c'est Paul. Oui. Je suis né en 1973. Ezeka. De qui? Le père, la mère. J'ai monté à Sbissini. Vous avez quel âge? J'ai 52 ans. Vous êtes domicilié où? À Damas. Vous êtes marié? Oui. Combien d'enfants? 3 enfants. Votre numéro de téléphone? 699. C'est visible. C'est la carte que vous nous avez remise, non? Oui, là c'est la prison. Non, jamais. Oui, c'est ça. Racontez-moi alors ce qui s'est passé. Tu t'en de partout. Comment c'est de la sauce? C'est la maladie. C'est la maladie. Ils nous donnent le colis. 2 colis. Voilà. On se fait, je monte. C'est la maladie. Monte aussi dans la voiture.
Now so the thing it take up a pass for inside Yabunde. Plenty people them could ask and say how countryman could work with 700 million for inside his own pocket one. This one it be been a mafia bien arrangé by who them una could yenta we don't she don't back for inside big compound for top inside plenty of this one them. Now so we be take am we say for inside Tori house. Other one them if it take pass, but today we go pass only for that one. Country people them time it don't reach for we for enter for inside a big compound proper. We go start with this Mutumbu.
Yo China.
I'm bringing Calabash of culture diversity. Where will the rest of the land?
Your man from sky, hey, possibility. Oh, lion, mama. The band we know, the band turn lion. Oh, lion, mama. The band we know, the band we Satom kufungo, mamba mia ayo, sanya mkitio, kibam tewano, titinda tewano, amupo ikiwa mika, momolo paramba kuma. Satom kufungo, mamba mia ayo, sanya mkitio, kibam tewano, titinda tewano, amupo ikiwa mika, momolo paramba kuma. Jumwayo menayo mabela wangonzo. Jumwayo menayo mabela wanyamso. Jumwayo menayo mabela wanshufayo. Jumwayo mabela. Hey, jumwayo mabela. Jumwayo mabela. Sanyam Tiju, Etiban Tiwano, Jitinga Tiwano, Amokuki, Yam, Bomo Karama, Sakam Kukango, Mambam Ya Ayo, Sanyam Tiju, Etiban Tiwano, Jitinga Tiwano, Amokuki, Yam, Bomo Karama,
Sapina, Fanta, Iliasu, then what's all?
Now so you gonna take out the help for inside big compound control them. Make una not forget say plenty of this mutumu una go enjoy am because the attitude it is for inside big compound. Today we go start for inside big compound. They say juju will go for that place or you go for any place. You start with the woman hand, na bad juju. You must start now with the man picking hand. So I go start with my man picking hand. Me gonna sabi people dey for inside big compound. Na big countryman. It will chop one time then. But according to Minister for Secondary School book, Professor Nalova Leonga, you don't. So we countryman na teacher, you go talk for country for them. The one time, me I not talk plenty. Come good.
Thank you, Tori Master. A pleasure for me for being part of this program, Big Compound. I want to salute for all people where they outside there, where they watch home TV, where they don't take their chair, they put them for corner, forget Tori, we go come out for Big Compound. I salute all my way, you know this face, especially for light. It don't be like telephone way, they just people. So now on a new they call am they come 5 minutes ago. I remember say make the try for sorry with small because Douala is hot plenty.
Plenty people they complain and they talk say they don't give light, they ration light according to what they talk for inside big book. Ration that means they give for the quarter, take am for the quarter, give for this one. And they talk say plenty places and they will they figure light. Which be the problem?
You see, this blabber light and my brother now a very big problem for this Cameroon because we get plenty water for them for this Cameroon. Well, I don't know the reason why government don't decide for talk saying only a day.
And we'll talk to the public. So I'll be very happy with the fair today, and I also get some better talk them today. We know say plenty our brothers them and our sister them for that side for Oko. They don't know. They look. They say, hey, countryman, we like them as you take name for village. You go down for before. After you go to a special salute first for His Royal Highness. The fund for Oko.
Thank you plenty. You know, so when you talk for Oko, now we get Cameroon,
yes.
Now we get Africa, now we get the world.
Yes.
When I talk so all man know all kind fighting it inside Oko. I not get time with him. When I service say we could get fine culture, we could get lake, we could get carving things, and we could get the best money for the world. So I want to this time for salute all man we come out Oku. I want to start for Troy salutes for fun for Oku, fun Goom the folks. We're in a very young and dynamic fun. Well, of course it don't work for 2 years. I want to see plenty changes them. At the past through palace for Saint salutes for Enoku man where they watch this program for any part for inside the world. Thank you.
We live for inside Douala. Waiting for inside thing will happen. It touch your heart tomorrow.
Well, like my brother talk, plenty things will happen, but some one day it make us.
The problem is the common for we. Why they talk so? They talk say why number of kilowatt they send them, they use them over. We make a problem. They will happen. Transformer it don't burn this one. You know things themselves they try. Now we cause the problem.
Yes, you know, see when you get your company. You get workers them, you get a duty for do supervision, or make them all go fine. If one not go fine for field, if they thief like for field, that means them you know they do the all fine. They go for the game type quality and check. And no say truly for the other they thief like plenty. And some other thing too because when you blame that you know you contribute them too. Sometimes when they come live for some quarter, you see that they move over the chain line, move go for the other quarter line. When they don't congest for the other line now, you see it go burn for them. When one thing body
don't enter your eye for insight chapter for Mutumbu for insight we own country. Wait till pass your eye.
Inside Tori for Mutumbu for this country, plenty thing there over there because lots of people could ask me why we they do arts and at the end of the day we know the progress. The only thing what we talk now say at the end of the day we know they support each other first. We the artists ourselves we know they support each other, and on the second note we always blame them on the fan base or maybe our own people, but then if our people we start to support the artists and the artists themselves learn for support each other for grow, I think we could actually go a long way.
Yes, and it come out from Mutumbu man in own mouth. That means we go take time now, enter for insight some of the things them. It takes time, it pass for insight we own country. When the insight chapter for accident, plenty accident them. Yaoundé, Bafoussam road, Melon. If you don't tiredness, if you lead say accident, it occur. So it means say we get for make the driver in such a way. Driver I get forget at least one worker. If you go by member and miss a different driver, it go bring motor back for inside Douala or any destination where he want go. Make driver not overwork himself because of blabber money. Therefore, the best people that want to get this company say make them not overstress the driver. Driver una say una too much not stress una self because blabber money if money will work as so we go leave her one day for year we go. Another thing I want to talk again about this accident and safety. Some of our driver them they be high before they enter road. Which I mean as safety. So one it also may affected one fighter. So one it also may affected one beer. So one it also may go backside. All that thing they contribute for road accident.
They don't say the thing they help.
They know the help, so they help. That is when you know the help. It declare eye. It give eye. It not declare eye. Okay, they give you now what we friend can say for that. Not say clear eye, but now that driver now they give you insights. You know, some of we make some of the driver them they hell they run.
Yes, before I went to another one, I want last more because He talk say that will clear eye. Yes. I don't understand. It takes money to clear eye. I love because instead he want the tea and the tea correct. Yes. You want the tea eye. First of all, alcohol get which color? It's getting a very na some clean color. No. Now whatever clean color. So you want to like the tea for your eye, man don't want to know. Because not only be our drivers them. Plenty of waiting for line when you want to do some kind of thing, you say no man will clear my eye first. You want to do some kind of job, even some teachers them, man don't lie for president of kind of thing them some place them. They say, clear eye first, man go to one man. So they get courage now to do the thing with power. No, not be so. That one, if you give courage, will go do the wrong thing. They say sometimes they go with courage, you go cause an accident. Normally when the driver go, they be concentrated. When don't take, you get that courage, don't say you go even see some big motor they come there for your driver overtake them and they cause accident. So as you talk, say passenger and they contribute for road. Some of the drivers then will be the cause of this accident. So if I say no, say if I work as small reach, then worker fast they know this not fine.
But now with the blame say this road no they fine, this one don't go up, this one don't come down. Even the Douala Yaoundé roadway after we Secretary General, this big man for national security, Martin Bangangele, if the pass go back to say the road no they fine. But Douala Yaoundé road is fine. But accident they say happen every day. You don't think say sometimes not because say the road they don't put something for the road now they make them put it for so.
You know, say that kind of thing for push on your road, me and not ever believe me, and not being superstitious.
Okay.
But they talk say we as humans, we say we make machine them, but the machine them fail we. Motor, na thing we handle them. Initially day for your sense. And on board they talk, if I say my motor to me day for right state, when I try to make sure when we come back from motor, for example, you don't want to see something on back for the motor. No, go down on a garage, meet the mechanic, me check and find. If you take one journey from Douala to Yaoundé or Yaoundé to Douala. Even the motor they find so just take and go to my garage. Make the examiner and say they so some tire they problem, something get problem, break and they find before you go take another journey. So for talk to them put mix on the road and have you give that one. Now carelessness. Sometimes we be careless. I want to be careless, some kind of thing that happen now. We start talking this so my system and can make some no. Now only sometimes only carelessness. Recklessness. And I'm going to talk for you. If driver don't close the eye, only for 2 seconds you go find someone inside bush.
Yes.
And what will happen? People will die. So number one that
the road it define and make all thing in work I find for inside we own country. It defines it so make some of the driver them make them put a camera for the driver before for the see how they take and they run. But as they don't say put some camera, it is still be like the worst one sometimes them. It never be the worst one that overload. You want see sometimes drive motor na 760 system. You see sometimes na 80 people, 85 people in dey inside, even 90 people. And sometimes it be dey minister for transport. Anything can be there for under. They move they be move container them. Container them for carry water so 20 liters container them. They move the container them like 5 so. Now some agency, plenty people wey don travel they go know the agency. They move the container them, they can't line them up. That people they sit down inside. Now that we don't work as small, we can't carry it for that side for Bafusam. They see more passengers, they still do waiting, they still stop, they enter inside that motor, they move container again. So country people collect for thing when I collect for talk that say it actually be our responsibility when we don't see that kind of thing them who the worker if I will call those agencies and make the agencies them actually make available their numbers. So that when country people enter inside motor so those rules you go help. We go enter for inside chapter for churches them we minister down. They will lock all churches the way you know get paper. Plenty people dey talk say this so instead for the lock church why they no lock na bar them we dey make noise why they go talk say churches dey make noise we normally they dey pray for country for make country e dey fine when they talk say make dem lock am now na for make sure say they so make dem cover am up for God and make God e voice or make they don call God again make e can work for inside we own country. Countryman you know say this so instead for the lock churches there if I make dem lock na bar dem no.
If I made a lock bar, if I made a lock churches.
Yes.
You see the plan at church just so church get plenty question mark today.
Okay.
First time we will not be get plenty church. But today you see I say you never pass 3 house where you know see say 4 or 5 people the longer that say they dey for inside church and they get different name. They call the one today do me I do you, that one they say do me I do you. But the problem is the church, it don't, in the impact where the church it play for this society. I remember say, big salute for Minister Tangaji. Now fine work, because some of these churches now melting pot for frustration for Cameroonian them. Church we never talk say church no fine. Church fine, but what is this church it gave a play for society? We get three role with church. When they call and say church, it gave a play. The first role the church it gave a play now role for person in moral obeying. The moral obeying means say make person fear God. And number one thing that for church. Number two thing where church it gave for play and say church to feel help for societal issue them. Like say church fee control school, church fee control hospital, church fee open thing the way orphanage wey go help for society. And the last thing we will talk about church na for safety. Church it did like that place where they gather people, make they come, they be together like one family and for try to share idea them. But if you see what the way church it do for tell say their life don't be what the way it may be supposed to be, because they feel say for this life when you go prayer, God he go jog you. If you don't work, you no go get up. God he talk for you what say go bless the work for your hand. It don't mean I say more go to sleep for church, never never sleep. You there for house every day, church in the holla for this side church. No, but I remember say Tangaji they do fine thing. But church not will limit the churches there for Cameroon because they need to help Cameroon. But it shows the church they don't come here let no. Even some people in there picking the respect, they need to do some kind of thing there because they feel say daddy or papa for church if he give them casting group they do some bad thing. The other day I be inside class, I remember say some the thing where they talk it touch the minister from me at the teacher.
Yes.
We call it kind churches the way they come out for inside religious studies, we call it a religious sect. And when you go to be religious sect, it means as a small group of people, because they're not they happy with the pastor, because number one thing when we talk say that they broke come on a plava money. If you see these churches the way they come out every day, they come out every day na plava money. But and you see say that money plava na pastor. I used to ask myself, say, why is this inside church? Pastor the best pastor my inside church. No, but the pastor they get back for Christian for inside church. Then they get back for Christian. They help Christian. They want to see some service. You know, we give him man 100,000. We give him man 200,000. They help no. But I don't know the politics way they. My tell you say sometimes when you see say inside that church, them you know say some big churches there are business place where that pastor wey dey inside church, wey call himself say the pastor inside church, he be controlled by the person wey get the church. You know so. Where he give account and he be paid for inside that church, you know so. And if it is sometimes that man where he get church, he get the old member the way don't put out for front for church. When they talk say something they like fundraising for inside church, you look and say that people they can't raise fund, they give them money for encourage other people. Them Christian they can't give foolishly, but for back like the way they control church, they divide that money. So when you talk say that they help, sometimes they that this thing they will not say I think if I don't be a victim for a circumstance where I go for some church, the person where they control that church, you know me. Till we talk to me for front camera, me I talk say yes, but till we talk we correct. Baby they talk, you know me fine. Church don't be in a business. No, but no church. God I see sitting where they happen for your family. We not deny say God they open their eye, but for true. If that God will open their eye the way it open up, I remember saying thing they did for the Cameroon. When we know say it can plenty, therefore don't go down for their food. The prayer, Papa God he answer that prayer as they used to deliver people inside church, as they used to talk say God he don't hear their prayer, he don't hear their call, he hear people. I remember saying God to for the Kenekene way for the country. We know Kenekene way for North for Boko Haram. We know Kenekene way for Southwest and we know Kenekene way plenty side. Pastor they never long join. They talk say we go pray how many people they wear. We know people the way they work out for the way they be helpless. Why be say the pastor them they make feel wake up they come for where they pick Christmas. They say one prayer many Christmas he wear. No, but no people they be pray for street. You must be inside church. You must believe for the man of God first before he pray for you. I remember say time for Jesus Christ, you know be get for believe for you before he heal you. Jesus Christ really talks to believe for me. See this man where he heal am, this man where he get the Holy Spirit. And I begin for God this and he no say he beg and say I no Satan say no disturb me. When you talk say believe, God enable one Jesus Christ for your whole life, and not see some place where if I talk say believe me, give your life for me before you do a miracle. But and when you do a miracle, he talk say wetin brother, when you do a miracle for plenty place, he talk say me, he lock your mouth, make you not talk. But today we see and say when person want do miracle, he go all come around them, he go bring everything and everything.
But I think say pastor they don't come out, even prophet they plenty, they don't even talk say the crisis will reflect our the country say it will soon end. Yes. So I don't know, you did say pastor they need to see that aspect. I don't know. Yeah, you want to know. I don't say the not see all man, even you and you pastor when you see something, they don't say let me hold him or cool. So something they go hot country.
I children get time. They go to college universities from primary to secondary to universities to professional schools. They don't do better. So they don't reduce the burden for government. If you go inside hospital then so you see and say they get one of the best hospitals for this country. So no way not they will feel close up that choice them all. I talk the main one in the Catholic Baptist, but they don't do plenty. And of course, away from that, church don't help the developing country.
No, but now we talk about school them, so they don't help for school them. That school they will open and so. Now rich people that picking they go there. Poor man they picking they go for the kind of school them. You go hear school fees 450,000, 600,000. Who is picking go for the hospital? You want go to test you no put 200,000, you no put 300,000. You no go start treat their patient. So how they will help government now?
Actually, you know, see, I thought government not do all thing because first, when they open the schools them and the churches them, people will give for one for day, and that when they give for day, they will pay them. Now they help for some government on employment inside our country. Now, why we say private insurance they share? They dare because they offer the best services them. For example, me, I went to for private school. I don't look the system of private school, I look the system of government school and say negligence. It is a system for government school and how we do for private school them. If you go to private hospital them, you see seriousness, see their structure, see their equipment, see how all man be conscious. You know, you compare that inside government institution. And now even you did so many, if you take a picture on that government school for quarter, that means sometimes you have money for sending inside private. Even though it's there, they say plenty don't choose than the private. But now the private they take plenty money, they work and they work for the pay them to fine.
That one a different topic about that. That one different topic. So we talk the truth because actually, I mean, don't talk now how we government private church don't help government. Yes. But they get to their own business them as they travel right. But positively, these schools they don't help for reduce unemployment for inside our country. And apart from these developments, the church too, improve on the moral standards for our community. I believe say the church not a day. First, you know how Africa day. First time Africa they teach you know say you know born too big they live up. Yes. When you born too big the key one. When you live long life, you are place you just slap me. I make small things so you don't take collapse call me. So the church it don't make us say me all people they be conscious. I mean they begin live a moral life. And this one we feel appreciate them. And how we talk as we talk. You need to pray fine. If you go to say 1 minute, I make sense. You for 2 years. You forgot for answer a prayer. It no means you don't pray for a long time. When you communicate with God, we don't believe for God. Just within 5 minutes, God will answer a prayer. I don't say pray waste their time plenty. I don't say for God church no fine, but you don't say sometimes woman and they for the house with them. You dey for your house, your house never chop. You dey for church, they sing song and they pray. You dey for your house, you don't have problem. You dey for your house, you don't have pay school fee for pikin. They drive begin for school fee. Instead we will find people who money can pay our school fee. It is pay at time of church. You think they will pray money before forever? No. So I don't say we get for wake up for one part. No. So if at time you don't talk to all this much at one corner much churches them, now very good idea because it make an take disorder. It is a paper with them. They make an community and confusion day. But if you choose the good side for church, we will say church will be important. But don't make an now any Tom and Jake, any man go to society be pastor. No, but so long really make it. No, they get a call from God. Now God is telling you get for be a man of God. Now they start being a man of God. If you say they don't call, then they don't call every man. Yes. Now what happened inside church today? They mostly hear about positive prayers. The year of game motor. Most of these recent pastors they not even be educated. So then they, the Bible not be any kind of book. Yes. Bible be the poetry. We will interpret and give this sense. Because don't know what you talk about when you read that Bible, that's what you do. You go use a second mind for the fact.
So I want to say, if I say make God will cover up, not be only by closing these churches, make they make sure say any man will give education will desensitize people and say church, let them be man will it be up to the tax, because church dey sometimes go don't be na harm for all man.
For advocates wey my brother dey talk, I remember say maybe na for closed church be the problem.
Yes.
If we close church today when they talk say they want authorization, and they look so small problem there because like if they talk any jack and jay, it go take authorization and then the church go still continue tomorrow. But I remember say person wey be authorized for get church, may they put some standard say if this man you wey wan get the environment in the way they bring am now, you will know our country fashion as man begin. Now why that way papa them for first time before you wan come for your house? When you wan come for your house, it dey make noise to go for talk say if stranger dey ask me come before you come. So na the man begin that. You remember say African man as African man be dey, African man be marry one woman. African man he marry plenty woman, and inside big compound like we dey, we know say woman their own side be dey and papa him own side he be dey. So we no be dey. You know the way you go for only you chop for papa, and you know the chop for pa chop the chop, you come back. So you see plenty of these things that I used to talk say when you see what church they do, my brother, some woman them because so wetin they don't she know inside church they talk say God he go give their master. You go see 30 years, 40 years they come back.
That kind of people wey dey record them small papa.
They try say so when a man of God they help for bring your union, choose your woman. So when they go sometimes people they don't na marry say because my papa never talk say I'm a married person. When I fight you know say I fight one to master. You know say even inside church they do connection for marriage. No, they do connection for marriage. But when you see sometimes to master man no cut you. You dey see say plenty things like my brother talk for them when you hear from the woman their testimony, they go tell you say I be been a shower, I be been at this, I be been at this, but today I won't give my life for God. Now the thing that I do for church now, I want to say no, make a man of God, you pray for me, my life did. But somebody has a job.
Look you like Bassett, yes. Start look you like an evil person, and I think say because we talk about. When you talk the gospel, I would like for remind we say Christ or Jesus Christ, he become now for we belong these sinners. It not be actually come for those perfect people. So when this one are to the pastors and the prophets, when we don't actually be called by God, we not condemn some people because I think say the reason why God he call una na make una for help for change people, and for change people he no must insult them. You know must look at them like evil. You know must condemn and castigate them. So the only thing I want for talk that seriously, and they try for talk say, at the end of the day, if I for regulate this church issue, the churches are not even plenty. You will see for one building, three churches then.
Prophet, you don't mean when they get on them. Anyway, my own talk I want to finish about this church now. Say. First, I want to congratulate you, but I had because you believe that you go by one church. The way you know what the church is, you talk, you know anything, you say, open church, we be everybody. So, all I say, Christian, they be very careful. Yes, as a Christian, they will be very careful. Miss a man not fool. The second, I say, live a good life. Live good morals. Love your neighbors, love yourself. Not do bad thing. You don't need for this fear play something like here. Church as we talk is very important. When I social gathering, go enter with it. You never been at that physical church yourself. Church never hard. So don't take church with our mind say all time at church. First of all, I will talk plenty of man of God that show very bad example. If you go for social media today, you see men of God insulting each other. You see some churches they take some pastor and go with a court. You see some denomination that they say okay, you don't put the pastor for chair, it is another pastor go to court. Now some people leave. That one I will tell you Christian and say. Know your God for your heart. Not take things they talk on the outside, put their mind, then convince all time church. Church, it be good. But me they regularize the situation amount of that.
Okay, thank you very much. Say church, it be good according to my brother, but me they try for make her to go adjust that. But una more respect una papa them. So time it don't reach for we for visit. We come with them with my Genoa Natural Clinic. They go tell me about Tiger Tea Joy. What is Tiger Tea Joy?
Tiger Tea Joy Tiger tea joy. It makes you be like a tiger and it brings joy in your home. Tiger in your home, that brings joy. Tiger tea joy is a super aphrodisiac product that brings joy in the family. It means that is why it has joy. Tiger tea joy, tiger tea joy, tiger tea joy. Tiger tea joy brings joy in the family. It's a #1 product in Geneva that people take as an aphrodisiac, that takes against sexual weakness, lack of libido or lack of sexual anxiety, premature ejaculation. It's a product that people don't only take for that, you also take for energy. When you're working, you're in your office, you're working, you feel tired, weak, you just take a bit of it, a sachet of it. Within seconds, energy comes, you can walk with it the next day, you feel energized. It is made out of extracts of special roots of trees.
Yes, contribute and also they take on the same for inside a big compound as when I don't see if you only get tiger tea joy. Now for Geneva, they are cleaning the way they outside for inside we own country. Plenty put in the way they look with for outside there, and they only talk now. They want put them up for inside the thing where they talk for inside a big compound. We go back senior D, you go put Tori number them for screen so that contribute for outside the way they want call, where they want be part for this program so that they feel call to for make sure say this to make the add their voice for some of the thing the way we talk for inside big compound. Big compound now for all man, maybe only for some particular people then. Whether you come on outside, we will welcome you for big compound. Time it don't reach for we for enter for inside of this other one. We now the work we Atanga Jupol it do for minister.
You them they don't miss their track for life just because they take this thing. But the thing they so my inspiration thing you don't talk about again. Yes. Inspiration of do it. You want and see some man you should go for backside you did take that thing. You want take inspiration for good waiting. Because some people some man go talk say I take courage say maybe I want go drive caterpillar. You there you not get no work, you know they do no nothing, she don't use so you take inspiration. The only thing will go come for inside your mind. So what you want me to cry and say
we get some countryman for door, you want enter for inside big compound. Countryman come good. Hello? Come good for inside big compound. Okay, we will turn back. You make sure say this so when you call, we just tell you place where you call, and then you go straight for contribute for which we will talk for inside tutorials. Yes,
the cry where we have the cry, my brother, the cry where the cry now say, so far I see the try for say meeting and the work are fine, but the people the way they work for a corner, they need the support. I don't stay for some quarter for this Duala, my brother, I no go call the quarter in it. When you see and say
so countryman there for door, we'll take this countryman. Countryman. Hello? Yes, come good.
I want participate for big compound.
Yes, come good for inside big compound. Okay.
I want to begin with the issue of church first before I get to that issue of the minister territorial administration.
Yes.
I want to see the approach the government use as the minister of the defaulted church will be against the church. And to again go with the issue of anger, now every good thing is a bad thing. If you look at the panda, a leaf, in other words, it is a vegetable in another sense, and in another sense, it is talking vegetable. And even the tramol, the talker, it is a prescribed drug. But when you misuse them, it becomes a wrong drug. Now, why do they share me at least all these small things then? Who not let be in the head for go talk to them people? Who also be in the head for talking all that people the way they smoke, marijuana or whatsoever? They don't already take some, bring them out of the
because not be anywhere written officially say a fine thing. Okay, if it isn't a fine thing, I will just turn for your backside of your front door. Then plant a body. Begin what I mean, it goes over the exam. Then you begin giving your morning time or maybe they come by and for the exam. That was saying what I'm putting. And I also contribute, don't talk bad. If you still be the hell for some kind of way, but actually, generally, a very bad thing because when you make them in your sense, you make them you and they behave badly. So we don't condemn when you consume these hard drugs. It kill you even health-wise. You never see man with the smoke manga when you look healthy. If you see the person with the smoke manga, you must say I didn't erect. You must say sometimes don't lose weight. You must say sometimes the behavior you don't even get power. No, but you get inspiration for doing the inspiration. Stop that inspiration for man. I beg, stop that inspiration. Inspiration for key. Inspiration for doing for two. He had before you see person come with the smoke banger. But when enter inside, what that then show? It did plenty. And then they can so thief the plenty, rape the plenty, all kind of bad things happen. So yeah, but I think say what security people they do fine work. The security people they I want talk say minister they do plenty, but people they there for a corner at the my heart used to vex because I talk say some part of the day for this Douala you see and say the security people they pass that turn by turn for place the way thing that they pass. Yes, people where they can't collect money for morning time, people where they can't collect money for afternoon, people where they can't collect money for evening time. If truly one fighter they go the pass to play where they know say that they sell anything, collect money, or they go pass to say me they catch people the way they sell. If you check me as Tanji Wise for TikTok, I be Tanji Wise. So you visit some of these platforms, you're going to see the ads the way me done the do.
Some people don't hear feel they talk you this sometimes you enjoy for better way as artists. That's true.
That is not the way that way plenty people they think when they see person dress good like this. Yes, they think say he get money or music get money and so on. Mark will tell una the honest truth. Plenty people they live now what they call a fake life for outside. Some person they deal so way if you meet up you give 2,000 go chop or give you 500 go chop. It get that need for 500 francs. That it be in desperate need of 500 francs. But now the way they put itself before you, you start feel say no, it they fine, way no they fine. So I just want to say the art in itself, it take time before it start pay, and a few people they actually enjoy the arts money that way. So that luxury life where when they see
stories about where I come from, by the mother who did it for brothers. I'm so, I'm so, I'm so, I'm so, I'm so, I'm the princess of the curry, the packet of chocolate for people, the core of some royal dynasty. Mama, mother of the people, mother of the lions, mother of the foxes, mother of the warriors. Man from sky, King is present. Yango, the sun level. Come in a furrow to the sun. He wants Siga